but also new. I saw the TV show you're working on.
Yep.
Not on Fallout with Amazon.
And got to visit the sets, reading scripts and things like that. It's all new to me.
The NCR is destroyed 19 years before the Fallout TV show. Since the army was destroyed 4 years before Fallout New Vegas, the NCR is gone. With no NCR, no army, no occupation of Hoover Dam. Explains why there's no electricity on the front with the picture at the ending of the credits. Season 2 of the Fallout TV show will take place in Vegas. Before we switch pictures to what Vegas currently looks like, you'll notice a few things. You'll notice that the lights are not on. The lights that would have been turned on from Hoover Dam with the NCR / Mr. House alliance, where they were both working together on Hoover Dam to provide electricity. The lights are not on. You will also notice that every structure that was set up and run by the NCR has been completely removed from the world of Vegas. The fort with the train is not there. Crimson Caravan Company, which is on the right side, that you can notice that there's no building to the right side. You'll notice that there is no... You will notice that it looks like there's just the one wall. It doesn't look like it's separated, really, into Freeside, And we'll get into that in a second as to why.
I think if you like this world, you are going to be just blown away. Keep in mind, I've never made a TV show.
Right.
Those are all the...
So Mr. House is evil. In this picture, he is at a meeting. What are the results of this meeting? Let's take another look at that picture where they're going to show Vegas for season 2. So the setup for this picture is Hank from Vault Tech is looking for his bosses. And everything in this picture shows what became of that meeting. You'll notice the lights of Vegas are not lit. Now, the NCR and Mr. House had an arrangement to power the Strip in Vegas and the NCR by working together at Hoover Dam. Because the NCR was destroyed 4 years before the events of Vegas 19 years ago, they do not have an alliance because they don't exist. But let's take this a little bit further, because the original timeline, Mr. House is good, and this picture says so much. So again, I want to say that Hank is there looking for Vault Tech, and he had a meeting with Vault Tech 200 years before about letting the bombs fall and destroying the world and working together. And you clearly see that in this picture. This picture screams Vault Tech. Because Vault Tech is staying with Mr. House, a few changes were made to this history, this new retcon, this new history, this new timeline. The most pronounced being he didn't save Vegas. If you really look at that picture, it's made this way on purpose. Everything outside of Vegas is destroyed. In the original timeline, he had missile defense systems, nuclear codes, his own personal defenses on top of the Lucky 38. He left a whole bunch standing so he could use it to rebuild the world. And he was planning on using the NCR citizens and the people from California to help build this. But the fort where the NCR was stationed with the train tracks, gone. The compound where the Crimson Caravan Company was, gone. The little vault area you could have probably seen off in a little distance, that vault's gone. There's no fiends there. Everything was obliterated. Mr. House didn't defend New Vegas. He encouraged its destruction with nuclear arsenal. Vault Tech in the show said they launched nuclear weapons. He helped Vault Tech destroy Vegas. So not only is Hoover Dam not there with the working lights and stuff, and he helped, he laid waste to the stuff he protected in the original timeline. And not only is he still helping Vault Tech because Hank is running to him to his Vault Tech overlords, Caesar's Legion doesn't exist. And the Courier doesn't exist. Think about it. If the NCR, if he didn't work at all with them, because they don't exist. He didn't hire the scavengers because he hired scavengers from the NCR to get the platinum chip, but he doesn't need the platinum chip with Vault Tech and the other big companies there, right? The courier delivered it to them. So we're looking at a very, like an evil Mr. House, okay? And if he somehow managed to have the platinum chip delivered, I have no idea what they could use it for. They're not going to use it to save Vegas. He laid waste to Vegas. He let Vegas die. Well, I mean, technically everything outside of Vegas die. My mistake. The Mojave courier service doesn't exist because the building, it's all gone. Nipton's gone. Novak's gone. Good Springs is gone. Or that little town, that very, very little singular town off in the little distance might be Good Springs. Might be, but it's too close to Vegas. I don't know what protagonist would be in the Fallout New Vegas 2 remake if they decide to make one. Also, that town on further inspection isn't shaped really like any existing town I could see from Vegas. But, you know, people do set up small towns, and I would say that would be a waypoint. I mean, Vegas has to get into contact with the outside world, or how else would Vault Tech have put a bounty on the Enclave dude? That little town for the left was probably set up by them so they could get stuff done on the outside world if they needed to. A couple things to pay attention to. I mean, it's a reminder that the NCR is gone, because the direction the dude is coming from should be the direction where they had the two statues in the original timeline with the NCR and the Ranger shaking hands. He's overlooking the entirety of Vegas from that would seem that one spot. So we can definitely assume, because he was exiting California. So we can definitely assume that that's that area for it. And there's no NCR presence because the NCR is gone. They're removed from this new timeline. Vault Tech is in cahoots with Mr. House. And Caesar's Legion is nowhere to be seen. They would have sent people, because he had spies Caesar had spies in the NCR to learn of stuff like the energy source, air quotes. But by 96, Caesar is dead. In the original timeline, he was going to die if the courier hadn't performed a medical operation on him. But the NCR isn't in Vegas, and there was no reason for the courier to deliver the platinum chip. If the NCR wasn't there, Caesar's Legion would be all around that entire area, but they're not. They were on their way to expanding and moving westward, but they're not there, so they don't exist. And even if there is some reformation of it, Caesar's dead. The courier isn't there working with Mr. House, the NCR, and Vegas citizens, because the Vegas citizens are all dead. The NCR is gone, wiped out. So it's just him and Mr. House. Caesar's Legion wouldn't have had the opportunity to put a spy in the journey because there's no Benny. Remember, Mr. House got Benny and, air quotes, the three families together to make the NCR listen to him. The NCR doesn't exist. So he didn't have to power up Hoover Dam, and he didn't have to get the three families together, which means he left them in their original state. I don't know what the chairman and the other ones would do. I know that one of them are cannibals. I know that there's cannibals in Vegas. So these guys would not be, if they appear in Vegas too, the only one of the three families you would see in Vegas are the cannibals. But since Mr. House wasn't going to go with the NCR because they're not there, he's not working to try to get them to the table to deal with him. He would leave the cannibals to whatever they were going to do by themselves, which would also explain a lack of more towns and stuff. Because not only did he not save Vegas, if you have cannibals running around, it's really hard for civilization to grow on its own. And remember, they used to live in caves before Mr. House got the three families together. They were living in caves, and there's an old enclave guy that turned a cannibal. I forgot his name. He went to move into those caves after the family was. I forgot what their name is, but the guys that went to go serve Mr. House and became one of their families, they left their caves behind. They're there. You just don't see the caves. So we can expect an evil Mr. House with Vault Tech in a Fallout 2 New Vegas remaster. The NCR, they've removed it. The Caesar's Legion, they've removed it. If you look past, if you try to look in the right-hand distance, you won't see the airstrip for the Vault Dwellers that went to the airport. The, I can't remember. I cannot remember what their name is. But yeah, I'm going to close this video up on the last part, which is kind of an interesting thing. They're rewriting anything that Obsidian touched when they made Fallout New Vegas. And that would include the super mutants.
On their attention to detail and just obsessive with what's on the screen and the storytelling and how it looks, the whole thing.
Yeah, if you really care and you really put a lot of effort into the details, you can create something truly special.
I was stunned. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but when people see it, I think you'll just be like, wow. It's the other thing we're approaching it, and for this it was, hey, let's do something that exists in the world of Fallout. It's not retelling a game story. It's basically, an area of the map, and like, let's tell a story here that fits in the world that we have built, doesn't, break any of the rules, can reference things in the games, but isn't a retelling of the games. It exists in the same world, but is its own unique thing. So it adds to it while it also